Well, you know what? It's actually they want it to be renamed Leicester's Sunday Morning Show.
No,
so we could actually rename it Leicester's Sunday Morning Show.
But then we'd have to get more mugs made up, wouldn't we?
We've changed, like Leicester. Well, you could do a little bit of Tipex or something.
Yeah, because that would look really cool, wouldn't it?
It would look really good. What a nice workout that was for you, your weekly workout.
I need 5 or 6 more pints before the moves really start
flowing. Oh yeah, you do, and they do get going, don't they?
They do.
Good morning everybody, welcome to the Sunday Morning Show. Good morning Leicester.
Good morning Dan.
So tell me about your new protein diet, because I've been away. So what have you done?
Okay, so when you hit the age of 35...
Which you have.
Which I have, yeah, considerably.
5 years ago.
5 years ago. When you hit that age, you lose like 0.5% of body muscle every single year, so you basically waste away.
Okay.
So I decided the last 3 or 4 years I've been eating a lot more protein and eating better, cleaner, and just trying to stay healthy, because I still try and play football, still try and play golf.
Yeah.
But I've added a protein substitute into my diet, so I've got like cereal, which is high in protein, but I've also been doing like supplements, and also I've been trying protein shakes, but they've had a little bit of effect on my body.
Okay, let's stop it right there.
No, it's not normally when people eat protein, too much protein. I think they sort of have they have loose bowels, probably the best way to say it.
That's what I'm saying. Stop.
But
right there.
it's the opposite. I literally haven't been toilet.
Okay.
For like 4 days,
okay.
And I'm so bloated, so I don't know what's happening.
Now we had this discussion when I was at uni in the States, okay, and I was in America, and they've probably heard this story loads of times, but I was in America, started lifting weights, then you started lifting weights because I was lifting weights, obviously, and then you started taking lots of protein. Now, please tell me you are lifting something.
Yeah, I am. I'm lifting weights, and I'm.
Are you doing your little dumbbells in your bedroom thing?
Yeah. So I'm doing them, push-ups, doing like quite a lot of physical activity.
And I've noticed the guns are.
I didn't want to say.
Are they out? They've arrived, haven't they? Welcome to the gun show.
Not yet. I was expecting instant results, which I haven't got yet. So.
No. So you'll be giving up on that in a week.
Yeah.
So what about then? I mean, bearing in mind this show is just about general chit chat now, I feel, with a bit of overlay and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what about Dustin Johnson? So he's won the FedEx?
He did, yeah. So that would have been last Monday.
Yeah.
So 6 days ago.
Yeah.
He won a lot of money as well, didn't he?
That
was the scariest thing.
I think he's played like 4 or 7 events. I can't remember. I saw it on Twitter. He's played like 4 or 7 events, and he's won $18 million. I think Jack Nicklaus's career earnings were like 5 million.
Yeah.
And he's won it in 4 or 5, 4, maybe 7. I can't remember exactly what the tweet was, but maybe 7 events.
The money's almost gone a little bit silly, isn't it? Not silly, but like, it's just the amount you can earn at the top of the game, and it's a bit like the football. It hasn't quite filtered down.
Yeah.
So I know if you're playing on the US tour and the European tour and the main tour, you generally earn a good living, even if you're scratching around in sort of the 100th place, aren't you? Still making good money. But the guys playing Euro Pro and some minor tours, you know, the Clutch Tour and that, they're paying decent entry fees, £300-400 to enter these tournaments, and they're making no money. Whereas the money, it seems to be so top-sided, a bit like the Premier League at football. All the money's in the first couple of divisions, and then when you start going down into like League 1, 2, into the national-wide conference, the money's not there. And then maybe it needs to be filtered down even more. I don't know. I've got no answer to that. I was like, I saw it and thought, wow. Yeah,
that was like,
it was a shock.
Pretty impressive the amount of money he's won with that.
Yeah.
And then Rory McIlroy had a baby.
Become a dad, yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. So I know Rory watches, so congratulations, Rory, well done.
Yeah. If you're looking for a couple of godparents.
Yeah, well you're a pretty good godparent, aren't you?
I've been a godparent a couple of times,
so if you're looking for a couple, we're happy to do it. I mean, you might have to do a bit of babysitting.
I'm fine.
You're alright with that, aren't you?
Yeah.
So whilst we're on tour chat, did you see John Catlin?
Do you know him then? I didn't, because you put like a little post on there today. But I didn't know you had any connection with him or you knew him or anything like that.
Don't know him at all.
So why have you tagged him in it then?
Well, because basically John Catlin's just won in Valderrama, going up against Martin Keimer. Oh yeah, seriously.
Well over par, aren't they?
I saw a tweet from Paul Waring, which I did have a chuckle, and he said, "Nice to play all 4 rounds and break 80 in all 4 rounds." Which, like, obviously, you know, the scores were quite high, 1 or 2 over 1.
Yeah.
And you know, to see those players, like they are quality players of Paul Waring, happy to shoot under 80 round Valderrama, it just shows the quality.
Do you like that though? Do you like it when they struggle a little bit, or do you like to see a birdie fest?
I've got to say, right. So watching John Catlin, I watched like they did a European Tour did an overview on YouTube of it, of his last sort of maybe last 18 holes or last 9 holes. And I thought to myself, he was leading, then he dropped behind Martin Keimer winning, and then he started leading again. So I only was watching like literally the highlights of it, and I thought, oh my god, this golf is so bad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not enjoying, I'm feeling the tension of watching this round of golf unfold, because it was like they were just hanging on for dear life to get round that golf.
I liked it when in the Open Championship, and the weather was pretty rough, and they were struggling. Yeah. And it made it just a different test.
Yeah.
Or do you think people prefer to see loads of birdies, or do you think they prefer to see the odd, 18 straight pars winning?
I don't know. I mean, there's going to be arguments for and against, but I think for the most part, if you put out a poll, I think that the majority would like to see players playing good golf, shooting lots of birdies. That's what I think. That's probably what the majority would like to see. I know you'll like to see that side of it. Yeah. But I think a mix of both is quite a nice thing. But it was just. But anyway, coming back to John Catlin. So basically, Paul was playing with practice round with James Morrison up at Forest of Arden.
Yeah.
And we got onto the back nine, and it got quite slow. And John Catlin was just having a practice round on his own, and he joined up for like probably 6 holes or 7 holes, so the last sort of 7 holes playing, maybe it was the whole back nine, I can't remember.
So you're almost like best friends?
So yeah, so I chatted with him, I definitely had a chat with him up 12.
Did you?
So, no, maybe at 11, up the hill on 11, had a catch up with him, just asked him.
Do you reckon he remembers that?
Yeah, I'm sure he does, yeah. I'm sure he does. I bet he thought, who's this guy tagging me in a photograph or a video? Who's taking a video of me on that practice round? So it was me, hi. So I had a chat with him, he's from California. He's from California, and he's been over onto the Asian Tour, and he's been trying to make his way on the Asian Tour, and then he's got onto the European Tour, and he's now obviously then got into the winner's circle. But it was just, do you know what I loved? Was the fact when they were interviewing him, he was very emotional. Like he was pretty chilled out. When I chatted with him, he was a very chilled out guy, But you could see that he's not used to that environment of obviously winning, but not used to that with the cameras and everything like that. And you could see that it hadn't sunk in, and he was kind of almost shaking the way he was talking.
Maybe he did his week's work experience in a pro shop and thought, if I don't win on this tour, I'm going to have to be stuck in a pro shop like we have been for the last 25 years. So I just thought it was great to see him win, and so that was our tour. So we get him on the channel then, or?
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll get him on now. Yeah, I'm sure he watches. So
maybe him and Rory could take us on.
Yeah, maybe they could. Torquay.
I reckon we should start issuing challenges to people and calling them out.
Yeah, call them out on Twitter.
And if they don't respond, which they won't, obviously, we just claim the match.
Claim the win.
We have a list of who we beaten.
World number 1, tick. So we get quite a few questions, don't we?
We do,
about sponsorship and things like that. And I've put out a big video at the beginning of the year or beginning of the channel to say that where I was with FootJoy and where I was with Titleist, which I think was quite well taken for a lot of people because they kind of like the openness of it all. Yeah,
we have tried everything that we do on this channel. We try to make as open as possible, as personal as possible. So hopefully you'll learn more about our characters. Because we felt on other channels that there wasn't that personal touch, and we are quite, if people walk in the shop, we chat to them because our day-to-day life is like that. So we'll always tell people if people ask us, want to know if we're getting 50 grand off Titleist, we'll tell them if we are. We've got nothing to hide. Why would we hide it?
I had one comment come in which was about Bushnell, and people were this one individual was sort of saying that he was going to switch off because he was fed up with looking at the product placement of Bushnell.
Yeah.
And it's because when I call out a yardage, I say Bushnell. Like,
that'd be really annoying, wouldn't it? That'd be really annoying.
Very annoying. So, and I want to be open and honest about what's happening with Bushnell, because basically, I've got a close friend who's a rep now for UMAX, who UMAX do sketches, they do Bushnell, and he's been chatting with me about a number of things, and they asked if we could do a review on the Bushnell products, and we said, yeah, no problem at all. So they sent us a couple of products to review. Yeah. And basically we're using them.
Yeah, they were kind enough to say if we did the review we could keep the product.
Yeah.
So I'm using the V5 normal one,
and I've got the Jolt.
The Jolt and Slope. So we do use Bushnells, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And but there is long term. There's talks of us possibly aligning ourselves with Bushnell, which I'm really quite excited about, because it just opens up opportunities to then possibly access some players that use Bushnell products. Now, what you're seeing with Leicester is Leicester wanted some new shoes, and the conversation came up around the chap that we know, and he said, look, we'll sort out a few shoes and we'll send Leicester a few pairs of shoes. So Leicester is wearing some Skechers shoes, which again is part of UMAX, and they sent him a few shirts to wear. So him having Bushnell on his shoulder is purely the fact that those were probably reps shirts, and they had a few smalls left in stock, and so they sent Leicester a few pairs of shoes and a few shirts to wear. And
because they were kind enough to send me some shoes and obviously didn't pay for it, I just thought for the rest of the year it'd be nice to wear them and as a thank you more than anything. But with regards, cause I've had a few questions as well about, you're not wearing Puma no more and stuff. There was never anything in place with Puma. It was completely as anyone would if they worked in a shop. If you generally work in a reasonably successful shop that obviously sells products, the reps want you to wear it. They basically give you a percentage off trade. So I was still paying for all my Puma stuff you see me wear. I paid considerably less than what you'd pay at retail, but I still paid for everything. Same with my golf clubs. None of them were free.
So that kind of gives you a bit of an eye. So I'm still obviously wearing FootJoy shoes, FootJoy glove, and obviously with Titleist as well. So that's all just still carrying on as it was, and what I said earlier in that video. But with Leicester, he's just wearing bits that he wants to kind of wear, really.
Yeah. So I wore a Titleist bucket hat in France. It was so
stole
hot,
it. You stole it off me.
Yeah.
So you still got that?
Yeah, I'm going to wear it.
I think you should wear it. It look good on you, mate. Look good on you. So hopefully that tidies up what the comments have been coming in regarding sponsorship and things like that. So at the moment, definitely no money changing hands with companies.
If there is, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, if there is, I'm not seeing it either. Maybe Lee's seeing it.
He's getting it all. So what have we got coming up this week on the channel?
So this week coming up, we have Cornouailles, which is our second part of our trip we did to France. So we've got it's a beautiful golf course. Absolutely fantastic golf course. And the intro, you'll see that the drone shot footage that we got was of the clubhouse and everything. I would say more chateau-y in some ways from a clubhouse point of view. When you see it kind of wrapping around the waterfront there, it's beautiful.
Yes,
absolutely stunning, and a great golf course. Good fun format. Yeah, and that should be another quite entertaining video, that one. This week though, what we've done this week just gone, obviously we did your 3-part out on the golf course.
We did, yeah.
Where I took on Leicester, played his game, and then I asked him to play the way I wanted him to kind of play, a little bit more aggressively in his approach. So how did you feel after reviewing the video? How did that kind of look to you looking back over it now?
I think it was a good video. I was a little bit disappointed that when I was hitting shots, when you were telling me what to hit, I feel like I could have been 2 or 3 shots better. Yeah. Had a couple of bad breaks, missed a couple of short putts as I do. Yeah. But it was a bit of an eye opener really. It's like when to play aggressively and when not to. Yeah.
But on reflection, we were chatting about this earlier. Yeah. On reflection, you said to me, actually, in some ways, looking back over it, that actually the reason why you don't hit a lot of drivers and be quite aggressive is that your short game you feel like your short game lets you down, or you feel like it puts a bit of pressure on you for your short game. So, and that's where your scores start to pick up a little bit.
For me to score, I need to hit fairways and greens.
Yeah.
Long putting, I'm not a bad putter, I don't think.
No.
If I start missing greens wrong-sided, I'm okay if I've got green to work with. I feel like I've got a chance of up and down it. But if I short-side myself or attack a pin, I'm making bogey all day long.
Which mate, I get that, and it's more. I think with your short game, certainly, and we can talk about this for hours, but like, you know, your short game is down to the fact I think you get a little bit, you've got so many scars there that makes you a little bit anxious when you get over certain shots and certain lies and things like that.
I think as well, the type of tournaments I play in, if I'm playing a 36 hole, it's different standard, isn't it? When the pros are, you know, if you get some of the top guys and you're playing in West Region stuff, they're shooting for 2 rounds, they're shooting 7, 8, 9, 10 under par, whereas if I turn up and play in a county event, if you shot level par, you'd probably win. You'd probably win a couple of events a year because the courses are set up quite tough. But you'd pick up prize money. You'd be in contention.
Yeah, and you're not actually playing long golf courses, are you?
No.
A lot of the time they're more
short and
fiddly sort of courses, so it sort of makes you kind of hit more irons and 7 woods or 3 woods off the tee sort of thing, rather than hitting driver all the time.
Yeah, like we know that I'd rather hit a full shot in from 100 yards than I would a 30 or 40 yard flick over a bunker.
Yeah.
So it just makes sense, really.
So then we did the video with Paul, which was the aim point, his kind of aim point way of doing it. That must have been it was a massive eye opener for me, but that must have been a big eye opener for you.
He's always been very technical. Even when we were younger, he was having lots of lessons, lots of little tweaks. Even when he was playing well, I'd be like, well, what are you changing that for? You're playing, you know. And he was always looking for, I guess, perfection or, you know, something better. Whereas I was more, you know, I've done most of the PGA training, so I understand bits of the swing and stuff like that. But, you know, coming from my dad, who was a professional sportsman, a very talented one, he was very natural, just used to play.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't have that many lessons. Might have the odd person say, oh, you need to change this on your backhand. And I've played golf the same, really. I've been able to get a ball around a golf course, not doing things completely perfectly. Yeah. And just with his aim point and his own take on it, it was just, I just found it not funny because it's how he plays. It was just so different. It just showed how sort of polar opposites we are and things like that.
Have you taken anything from it?
Yeah, the main thing was that you would think that going from say 5 foot to 10 foot, the break would just double, but it actually goes bigger than that. Yeah. So the longer the putt, you'd think it would go percentage-wise, it would just increase. Yeah. So if you're hitting it 2 inches outside from 5 foot, when you went 10 foot, it'd be 4 inches, but actually the level of break increases more than that.
Yeah. So do you feel that it's helped you with your green reading as such? Is it made you look at greens in a slightly different way? And do you think you would actually go ahead and start using that sort of method? Me
personally, no. I could see the benefits of it and why people would use it.
Yes.
But for me, that's way too technical, and that would just confuse me and
it would take a lot of time. Yeah. It would take a lot of time to learn it and then get to understand it and things like that. Yeah. So, but I've since then I've kind of started messing about using it because it's opened my eyes to it, because I was always keen to do aim point, but I've never got round to actually going on the course and doing it, and me and Paul have not spent enough time together where he's had time to sort of show me how it works.
Obviously works for him because he shoots very good scores.
Yeah, and he putts well. You know, he does putt well. But so it's something I'm gonna. So if you see me using it, don't be surprised to see me using it now in course vlogs.
Be surprised if you see me using it.
Yeah, be very surprised. He's hit rock bottom if he's using it. All right.
How did your holiday go?
Holiday was good, it was alright, I mean, it was a shame because we were obviously supposed to be in France and that's got the weather and everything. We had 2 or 3 really good days when we were there, but we also had a couple of like rainy, windy, pretty bad days. So, and it was the COVID side of things was difficult because the kids were trying to get in and out of the pool all the time. Yeah. But you could only book sort of 45-minute sessions, so, but it was great. The kids got away, I was able to put the laptop away for a week and, well...
Did you manage to?
No, I didn't. I did a little bit of editing.
Sure.
I didn't do any filming, but I did a little bit of editing. And but it's nice to see that I've come back and everything is still in one piece.
Just about,
except for maybe the buggy that ended up in a ditch.
That wasn't my fault.
But you were on duty at the time, were you?
Yeah. I've got pictures of that. Can we put
I might slide one up on there. But there you go. So anything else for us for this week?
No.
I think that's it. We're going to carry on. We've got some filming to do for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you've got any more questions that you want to send through, please pop it down in the comments and we'll try and answer as many as we can. And we'll look forward to seeing you all next week.
See you next Sunday.
See you next Sunday.